The timbre of your reverb and delay affects the overall clarity of your vocal mixes. Over the next couple minutes, I'll show you exactly why and how you can control it to get better vocal spaces that fit perfectly in the mix every time.
This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be. This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be.
So what was the difference between those two examples you just heard? It was the same reverb and the same delay, and almost all of the settings were exactly the same. See if you can tell what the difference is listening one more time.
This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be. This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be.
The difference is the tone of the reverb and the delay. In the before example, the reverb and the delay were taking up a lot of low end. It was warm and full, but in this mix, it kind of fought with some of the other elements. In the after example, it was a brighter, clearer reverb. Overall, it had a lighter feel, and it just fit better with the rest of the mix. Not every mix is like this. Sometimes you want a big, warm, lush reverb, but other times it's nice to have a clearer, lighter reverb just to kind of add a nice sense of space without getting in the way. Take a listen to what happens when we change this space tone slider in Xvox Pro. I'm going to turn the reverb up more than I would normally do it so we can hear what it's doing.
This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be. Bad if I wanna be bad if you wanted me. Legs shaking, no faking, let me take my time.
So it's really a creative decision that you get to make as to what the mix needs. Now with Xvox Pro, I recommend starting by flipping through all these different spaces. Each of them has a unique timbre, a unique tone. Some of them are really long and lush. Other ones are tight and more of an ambience. So pick the one that gets you closest to where you want to be in the end. Then you can fine tune the tone of it. We can go from super dark and vibey all the way to really bright and crystal clear. And that's just going to help us get this reverb to sit perfectly in the mix. Now you'll notice when you use a darker reverb, you tend to want to push up the amount of reverb a little bit more. But in a mix that already has a lot going on, sometimes that can make it muddy. If you've got a busier mix, try using a brighter reverb because you won't have to push it up as much to get the sense of the reverb, but it won't be taking up as much space in the lows.
This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be. Bad if I wanna be.
So you notice with this brighter reverb, we had about 22%. If we use a darker reverb to get that same sense of space, we're gonna have to push up the reverb a lot more.
This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be. Bad if I wanna be.
And that's where on this mix, it starts to get a little bit muddy. Now you might have a mix that is super open and you want that vocal to sound larger than life. Try darkening the reverb and pushing it up a little bit more and you're gonna get this massive larger than life vocal. One reason I love the space tone slider in Xvox Pro is it's actually favoring the darker and brighter frequencies, not just carving it up. And you're actually getting a much more natural sound than you would if you started just carving with filters and all that. You'll notice it's really just kind of a natural darkening and brightening. And you can get pretty extreme with it at the ends here, but even just a little bit either direction can be a really nice touch.
This road's physical, I like to know it's good. On your side, let's cross the line, I like to think I could be. Bad if I wanna be bad if you wanted me.
Every mix will be different, so it depends on the creative direction that you want to take the mix in. Try this out in your next session so you can always have a perfect vocal space.